She was just being kind, offering a stranger a seat in a packed cafe. But what happened next? It would rewrite her entire life story. Sometimes, the smallest gestures spark the most extraordinary miracles. It was raining heavily that Friday afternoon, and the cafe on 5th and Maple was crammed wall to wall. People with soaked jackets crowded around small tables, warming their hands on ceramic mugs and scrolling their phones. Among them sat Emily Carter, a 28-year-old struggling writer who had just finished another rejected manuscript. She sighed, watching the rain pelt the windows, her laptop blinking with low battery and her coffee half cold. The chair across from her remained empty, a rare commodity in a place like this. Just as she was about to close her laptop, a man walked in, shaking off the water from his coat. He looked older, maybe late 50s, wearing a simple gray hoodie and jeans. Tired eyes, a quiet presence. He glanced around for a seat, clearly realizing none were left. Without thinking much, Emily gestured to the empty chair. "You can sit here if you'd like," she said, offering a soft smile. He looked surprised, almost taken aback, before nodding. "Thank you. That's kind of you." He took the seat gently, not even ordering a drink, just placing a worn leather notebook on the table. Silence hung for a moment, not awkward, just quiet. "Rough day?" Emily asked, breaking the air. He chuckled. "You could say that. Life's been a bit noisy lately. It's nice to just be unseen for a moment." Emily nodded, relating more than he knew. She had no idea who he really was, how millions knew his name, how cameras usually followed him, how people rarely left him alone. But right now, in this cafe, he was just a man, and she treated him like one. They talked, casually at first, about books, about life. She told him about her struggles as a writer, the dream she chased but always seemed to fall short of. He listened with focus, never interrupting, nodding at the right parts, his fingers lightly tracing the rim of his coffee mug, which she insisted on buying for him. "You ever feel like you're meant to do something bigger?" she asked. He smiled quietly. "Every day. And some days, you get reminded why you started." She looked at him. "And what do you do?" He looked at her carefully for a moment, then said, "I used to tell stories too, in a different way. I stepped back recently, but hearing you talk, it reminds me of the fire I had." They spoke for almost 2 hours. Not once did he check his phone. Not once did she realize he was sitting inches away from one of the world's most reclusive billionaires. Jonathan Reeves, the founder of the biggest entertainment conglomerate in the world, known for his mystery and sudden disappearance from public life 5 years ago. As the cafe began to clear and the rain lightened outside, he stood up and shook her hand. "Thank you, Emily, for the seat and the talk. You have a gift. Don't give up." She smiled politely.
"That's sweet."
"But I think the world's already passed me by." He leaned in slightly. "It hasn't. Trust me." He walked out into the rain without another word, disappearing down the street like he'd never been there. Emily sat confused, kind of touched, kind of curious. But ultimately, she figured he was just a kind old man with a peaceful heart. 2 days later, Emily received an email with no subject line. Inside, it read, "Your kindness created a ripple. I read your manuscript. Let's bring your story to life. J.R." Attached was a letter of intent, a publishing contract with a world-renowned media house, and a 6-figure advance. The signature at the bottom was unmistakable: Jonathan Reeves. Emily froze. Her hands trembled as she read the email again and again. She searched his name and matched the photos. It was him, the man she'd let sit down in a crowded cafe. The one who could have had bodyguards, his reservations, anything. But had just wanted to be treated like a human being. Because she'd offered him a seat. Because she didn't expect anything in return. Her entire life had changed. Her book was published within 6 months. It became a bestseller. She was invited to interviews, festivals, and her inbox flooded with offers. But she never forgot that rainy afternoon. That quiet man with the kind eyes. Sometimes the world doesn't reward your hustle, it rewards your heart. And Emily, she just followed hers. All she did was offer a seat, but it gave her a future. Acts of kindness don't just touch lives. They rewrite destinies. If you believe in the power of small gestures and the magic of humanity, hit that subscribe button now. More life, changing stories, right here, every week. Don't miss the next one. It could be the story that changes your life.